And Jamie, what's going on?
Hey, Scott. Thank you, buddy. Hey, Jamie. How are you?
I'm
Happy
good,
Easter.
Andy. Happy Thursday to you and everybody out there. As I was saying earlier, it's like a Friday.
It does feel like a Friday. Yeah, now I'm surprised we have a decent crowd in building, so that's great. So let's dive in. Got some. I actually got a layout I think you guys are gonna enjoy. So anyway, let me dive in here and go over the disclaimer before we get started. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us, taking time out of your Thursday afternoon. We are a content publisher here at Trade Ideas. Okay, we're going to be talking about some stocks and some setups and things like that, but nothing should be construed as investment advice. Okay, that's not what we're trying to do here. If you are looking for advice, you probably want to seek out somebody who's qualified, who's licensed, and that would be a stockbroker, a registered advisor, or somebody that holds that Series 7 license and can legally give you that information. All right, the agenda for today, market recap. All right, boy, yeah, this market is just crazy. We'll talk about it. Not much to say. All-time highs and the spies anyway, though. You know, Jamie. Uh, then we got the
I
Holly
know.
recap. Holly recap, and Jamie will go over a few stocks in the Holly recap there. And then I'm a sector layout. Okay, I'm going to look at this sector layout. I kind of put together a few sectors. I'm going to show you how you can easily add sectors if you know, sectors that you like to follow. It's kind of a good thing to have in this market because I'm telling you, we're sitting at all-time highs, and I know a lot of the traders here are, doing okay, but not killing it like you think we would. The market's at all-time highs, and not just here at Trade Ideas, because different stuff is kind of working right now, and boy, those little momentum stocks, they've been really tough to find lately. The momentum just doesn't seem to be there. So anyway, I think this layout will kind of help maybe you guys to kind of adapt to maybe different style, add something to your quiver that may give you some opportunity when the things that you're accustomed to just don't seem to be working. And then we'll take a look at the price alerts and see how everybody fared. I think it was kind of a mixed bag, like a lot of trading right now. All right, let me dive out of this and let's, no, I can't do that. I got more to go over. Okay, let's not forget about the 5-star education, support, and training here at Trade Ideas. We realize, guys, that it's a very powerful software, and we want to make sure you get the best support and training that you can, and we do. We have tons of information on the video on our YouTube channel. We have lots of traders here that do one-on-ones. We have Barry's room that we have right there in the that a lot of people go to. Okay, this is free for everybody. Let me pull up my little pen here, Epic pen, so I can help show you guys things. Yes, if you're not familiar yet with the trading room, okay, this is free for everybody. You do not have to be a Trade Ideas subscriber. Most people end up being one once they get in there and they see what you can do with the software. But Barry is great about helping those that have questions. Obviously, the first maybe hour or two, there'll be a lot of time spent trading, but he always encourages us. Hey, listen, send them my way. I'll be glad to help them. So he's in there. Don't feel like just because a lot of people trading in there that that's not a place that you can get help, because it is. And then of course we have webinars every Monday through Thursday in the same 5 o'clock time slot. That's 5 Eastern, same as this one. You can see the people, the moderators and traders who will. It's usually going to be myself, Jamie, and Steve Gomez, kind of juggling responsibilities. But this is a great one to come to on Wednesday when we have Dan and Brad. Dan's our CEO, Brad's our I'm sorry, Dan's our CEO, and Brad is our CTO. So they like to show you kind of some bells and whistles that are coming around the corner with our software. Maybe give you a peek at the dev versions that we're working on. And make sure, guys, that you sign up for this, okay? And make sure when you do sign up that you are getting your emails sent to you, and it's not going to your spam, or being blocked or sent back or whatever, because that's usually the case. They usually go out, and a lot of people come back to us and say, man, I'm not getting the emails. And we'll ask Scott, and Scott said they're going out. So just make sure that you whitelist us at Trade Ideas, that we are an acceptable email to accept the links, because a lot of websites, a lot of email servers will block links or send them to spam or something like that. So just be sure you do that. All right, support webinar. Let's not forget this. I'll click over to the next slide here so you can see. This is our daily support. We do Monday through Friday. Obviously, tomorrow we won't be doing it. It's a holiday. We'll all be off here at Trade Ideas, so don't show up tomorrow expecting to see the daily support session. But it's every day at 12 Eastern Time, and it's a great place to come and ask questions. This is where you want to go. If you're in Barry's room, we'll just steal the live stream for about an hour, so you can just hang in there, and we'll pop in, and we'll get in there for about an hour. If you have questions, something you want to see, a configuration, some help with anything, come to the daily support session. All right, I think that's got it for now. The next slide will be for Scott on the way out of here, so let me back out. And let's pull up the SPY here. And wow, I tell you, the market's had me fooled a couple of times. I'll tell you the couple of times it's had me fooled, just by seeing a lot of stocks, especially the Qs, the tech heavy stocks. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, we got the. All right, yeah, the had me fooled right there, and it also had me fooled again right here, guys. I mean, it just felt like the overall weakness, seeing a lot of deterioration in the underlying stocks in the market, but all it takes, I shouldn't say unfortunately, with the indices, guys, they're heavily weighted, especially the Qs. SPYs are a little more fairly weighted, but even still, if you get the big semis like we saw today, or financials, it doesn't take much to hold up these indices. And you can have, like I said, you can have some stocks, a lot of stocks going down, but the average is still just kind of hanging in there. It's really bizarre, but hey, that's why we don't get too much bearish when we do kind of see these pullbacks. Yeah, we may get defensive, we may put on a hedge, but I have not been to the short, big time short, I should say. I've leaned a little bit. I've been quick to get out, just like on this day right here, back in the spiders. Yeah, you don't want to fight it when it does start to head to all-time highs, and there you have it in the SPYs. We broke the 4,000 in the indice today. SPYs over 400. No bearish case to be made for now. We'll see if there's some follow through. It took us a while this year to get to this point. I know a lot of people were hoping for SPY 400 back at this level. There we go. That level, and then that level, we couldn't quite get it. Well, today we finally got it. Now I think the important thing is, if you're bullish, is to see some follow through. That will be important, because if we do drop back in this range, it's just going to get kind of funky again, I bet. But we'll see what happens. Definitely a bullish tape. Now let's take a look at the Qs and see what they finally got above their 50-period moving average today. And lo and behold, they had the gap to do it, but that's okay. They're above the 50-day moving average. And if we drew a line right here, we're going to see they're kind of right at this critical pivot level, even though they're above it. Okay, so this is an area. I think if the Qs can get through that, there's a chance we'll be talking at Qs all-time high in the next several days to maybe a week or something like that. So a critical level there. But boy, Jamie, I have to admit, I have not stayed loaded up. to the long side.
Oh, I know. It's kind of, well, as we've talked about ad nauseum, I mean, when the market gets to these levels, just up there pecking at all-time highs, it's not the easiest environment.
No,
And it just kind of snuck up on us, it
I
just, and then,
well, and
keeping in mind that, we've had quite a few positions on throughout the year. And, I've seen this talked about on financial Twitter. A lot of people that I follow, they're like, yeah, the market's going up, but my longs aren't,
yeah,
you know?
oh
So
yeah,
it's real tricky, I mean, right now, because, whether it's manufacturing or finance, it's kind of like, okay, this one's going to follow through, but this one won't. Charts look the same. So it's a little tricky up here,
yeah.
by all means.
It is. I mean, what if I told you, 3 months ago, that the spies would be at all-time highs and Apple would be, down here, basically 25 points or whatever off its.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't expect that, and that's what it is. We're seeing a serious rotation. Oil was kind of leading the way at one point, actually looking better today, but back over here. And then you had the solar sectors were doing well, that they're not doing. Anyway, it's just been a kind of a passing the baton type market. Uh, we may have some. Well, we're going to be looking at some sectors when I go into this sector layout that I talked about. But yeah, Jamie, I don't think there's any so much to say. We're at all-time highs, so I don't need to you know analyze this too much.
Right.
But so if you want to grab it, go over some Holly stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about Holly real quick here. Let me grab the screen.
Okay,
Okay, you should have eyes on.
I do.
Okay, so here we have Holly's full trade blotter up right here. And if we just kind of glance over here at the toolbar, we had 7 trades out of good old Holly Grail 2.0, kind of sleepy today with 1 signal, and Neo kicking out 3. So a total of 11 signals that we can see all right here. So 3 things that we typically like to talk about is, at the end of the day, was there any spread between conservative and moderate profit here? Of course, we're looking back in retrospect, but how would we have maybe gleaned some of that spread? Not a whole lot of spread in the PHM. So let's take a look at LPRO here. All right. All right. So we had a signal come pretty early in the day, 37.98. That was about 7 minutes into the open here. As you can see, Holly kicks out the buy signal right here at the 37.98 level. The little square here that we see here, that is the time that Holly spent in the trade in conservative mode. And that trigger that got her out was, well, I thought there we go, profit save, okay? The little pullback right here is more than likely what triggered that. It's more of a modified trailing stop, but not the timeliest exit. And that is kind of the nature of the beast here with the AI. The real value is in the statistically weighted entries. It's not so keen or not so intelligent on the exit sometimes, but as the day progresses, all we have to do when we see that exit being made is make the decision. Do we like what's been going on with the chart thus far? Should we take a little bit more risk in hopes of making, in this case, about 3 times what conservative booked? And as we can see, by the end of the day, we were looking at, if we just round this up to 100, we're looking at 300 versus 100 by taking a little bit more risk. And when we look at the exit right here, keep in mind, nice start, immediate gratification in the first hour, which is always nice. Then a little sideways consolidation here until we kicked off to that 10 period and it took it right back up here. So the bottom line is this: we were never anywhere close to getting stopped out down here at these levels. So all we have to do when we see the AI making that exit call is go, you know what? I think this one has more left in it. I'm going to stick with what I got. Or, it's always easier to break the ice with these decisions if you're newer, getting used to this process by maybe doing half and half, take half off in conservative mode. If you would have done that and stuck a break-even stop on this one for the second half, it would have kept you in it all day and you would have gotten to enjoy the rest of the uptrend here. So not a bad uh, not a bad decision to ignore the AI's exit signal in this case. In addition to that, notice the line that I've drawn right up here. After we're in the signal and we see what the trade is doing, takes a little pullback here. Well, after this area here starts to form, my eyes are going to be, focusing on this level right here when we finally broke out of that range right here. So right there would have been a great opportunity to add to the position. That's one of the other factors that we look at here. Were there any good add opportunities? And right there at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, which would have been right about noon Eastern Time, a great time to add to that trade to get the rest of that little push for the rest of the day. So some spread in there as well, and a nice add-on opportunity to boot. Once we get past here, you don't really see any values over here in moderate greater than what we see in conservative. So that's about it for, conservative versus moderate spread. There was a little bit in here in PHM. Chart not quite as pretty as what we saw there in L Pro. And we had a profit save in L Pro here. Oops, excuse me. I'm looking at the wrong one there. Timed exit. This one made the timed exit. So I'm not really sure what I'm seeing here, Andy. It made the timed exit. So I'm not really,
Yeah, there shouldn't be any.
and notice the entire time here. Okay, that was looking for a bounce. Let's check it out down here. Looking for a bounce is a hold until 245. So
Hmm.
it's just looking at the exit.
Oh, okay.
We exited
You're
at the
right.
bottom of this candle, more than likely,
Yep.
and missed out on that last
Yep.
15-minute push.
Yep.
So that's
That's
what's
right.
accounting for the spread right there. But, hey, last 15 minutes of the day, not really when you're looking typically to add to positions, but that accounts for the spread there. Other than that, that's all we had for conservative versus moderate spread. And with the, in addition to the add-on right here, not a whole lot of add-on opportunities either. The third thing we typically take a peek at is, were there any good trade around opportunities? Typically, we associate those with plays that have been stopped out. And as you can see, we had two stop outs, one in B, one in run.
Yep.
But
They just kept going.
the key here is how did they react around the stop area? All right. So both of these, both B and run, they kind of hemmed and hawed around that stop area. So these were a little tricky. You might think for a minute, especially when you see the close of this candle right here. Hey, okay, well, it wicked down here, closed back up here. But if you would have taken a stab at this one, just man, in the next 15-minute
Mm.
candle, it would have got you. Okay, so it kind of tricky. You don't really see these that much. Usually they'll just trade through that level, maybe bounce around, bump their head on it. But this one actually looked like it would reclaim it, but in the end it failed. So no good opportunity there. And then in run, we got kind of the same thing here. All right. Once they start closing below the level, I really don't like to pay much attention to them. Now, once you see this type of action occurring, well, you could have easily said, well, I could have, I could have shorted this thing and made a little bit of cash on it. But that's typically not the way I like to view these things. What I like to see typically is a candle like this, but just wicking down below that stop area and then having the stock firm up with a couple of green candles. And that way we can go long that thing, get a better price than the AI, and hope that it returns just up to the entry level. And sometimes they go past that as well. So, bottom line is AI did a good job getting stopped out here, because if it would have stayed in these two, we would have lost 2x here and almost 3x here. So, just kind of slim pickings
Hmm.
from the AI today. But once again, when we get into the levels that we see now, the statistical viability or the alpha gets a little bit harder to pin down, because there's not a trend. It's all new, breaking out to new highs. It's going to take a few days for the database to catch up so that the AI can make more sense out of it in the back testing and optimization.
All
All
right.
right, I see
Hey, would you,
Dimitri.
Dimitri? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The difference between conservative, moderate, and aggressive profits, where and how to control such settings. Great question. Now, when we're just observing the AI, there's really nothing to control, because we can install all the columns here, conservative right here, moderate, and then aggressive. But the main difference between these three risk modes is the following. In conservative mode, there are a total of 5 reasons why the trade will close out. The 3 primary reasons are we either got stopped out, profit target got hit, and we did have one profit target hit today in FTFT, which is always a good thing on the short there. Actually, as far as add-ons go, I forgot about FTFT. Once we get that push down, and that was taking that trade after that long red candle there, most of us would have paused a little bit. But that just goes to show you in a statistical model, it continued to work. And we did have a little area right here of consolidation where we could have added to that position and, gotten another little move down from 585 down to 540-ish, which isn't a bad percentage move. But a profit target getting hit is always great. But the bottom line is this: 3 primary reasons: profit target or stop loss gets hit, or the timed hold expires. Now, most of the strategies these days are holding until about 45 minutes, or 15 or 10 minutes before the close, so almost the entire duration. And then we have a couple of audibles in the form of profit save and reduce risk, which allows the AI to close out a loser or a winner early based on what the stock is doing. So those are the 5 reasons in conservative profit mode, whereas when we're talking about moderate profit mode, we only incorporate a stop loss. Okay, so if the stock does not get stopped out, it'll hold it for the duration. So only a stop loss and a timed hold are involved with moderate profit. And then as far as aggressive goes, it's the simplest because it's just showing you how these positions would have fared if you just initiated the trade and held into the close, or 15 or 10 minutes before the close, with no risk parameters involved there whatsoever. Not something that we would typically recommend. Only time I don't use a stop loss is if I'm not in the chair, right? A little common sense there. But those are the differences between the 3 major risk modes there. Now, if you're auto trading the AI, you only have the option to use conservative or moderate profit risk management there. Now, we can adjust our mechanism down here, right? So notice, and once again, all the values that you see on my blotter here are based around risking $100 per trade. Then the AI sizes the shares accordingly based on the stop loss for that individual trade. Now I can flick around down here and we can see how we would have performed. If we were in moderate mode, this is the total based on what we see here. Now what you have to keep in mind also, this total right here does not account for slippage or missed fills. It's just assuming you got everything right where the AI did. But if we were in aggressive mode today, just, holding and hoping things held up, big difference here. We would end up losing about $240 approximately if we were just holding everything to the close without any risk management. And then if we were in conservative, 279.20, moderate 243, slightly less. But once again, this is all not factoring in slippage and or missed fills. So Dimitri, I hope that helps illuminate the situation there.
Yeah, very good job.
All right, and I see one more question there.
I'm not sure what.
How to take advantage of the AI modules if we are not trading through Brokerage Plus? And that's a good question because I had that question in the support webinar earlier, and my response was, I treat the AI just like I would any other alert window or top list or what you could call high quality information stream that I'm watching. I'll check out the symbols as they are pumped out in real time. Do I like what's going on the intraday and the daily? Do I like the volume? Do I like the characteristics of the stock? And if I do, then I know that I've got a little bit of an extra boost behind that trade in the form of statistical viability, because that's really what the AI is. It's bringing statistical viability to each and every trade that comes out. So, I mean, simple answer, but I think it's the way that most people are interacting with the AI versus trying to automate it. Because yeah, some days if you put it on automation, doesn't matter if it's moderate or conservative mode, it can come out green. It's just that due to variables that you can't necessarily see in a back test, like slippage and or missed fills coming in the form of a fast moving stock, and maybe you weren't aggressive enough with your limit and you didn't get that fill, and that just happened to be the bigger winner for the day that throws all the numbers off. On the short side, maybe you got rejected because that stock is hard to borrow. So the short sell was the big winner for the day, but you did not get filled on it, right? So, uh, you have to look at Holly as, well, what is this thing doing? It's bringing me statistically viable trades from a statistical standpoint. And then if I notice technical aspects going along with the statistical viability, then that gives me the confidence to pull the trigger on any of the trades that might be spit out that I find conducive. So I hope that kind of shed some light on that one, Syed.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, Andy, if you're ready, I'll kick it over
Yeah,
back to you
you
here.
bet.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir. And Ron, yeah, we have those webinars, like I said, every Friday at noon uh, Eastern time. That is for, now we just don't come in and start talking about the product, because it's an open Q&A. A lot of people have been with the product for several weeks and have questions. If you're looking for something good for a new subscriber, the best thing to do is check out our Getting Started video and our TI University. And Jamie, looks like he may be dropping those.
Yeah, I'll drop
These.
some links in there
Okay.
so he can explore, or
Okay.
anybody else.
Thank.
I'll put it in the chat panel though.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be the chat panel of your GoToWebinar interface. All right, so what I put together today is I had already one in the works, but I just kind of added to it, and I think this would be something good for you guys to have, just a layout of the sectors, different sectors, that so you can kind of keep up with what's going on. If you get into a kind of a funk where, if you're like a lot of us that like to trade these, volatile stocks that you can get, 20 to 30% moves, in one day, but you're not seeing that and as much, and I know you haven't been, and you get into a little funk, you may want to just, hey, where is the money flowing? Okay, you want to go where the money's flowing, right? And if it's not flowing into these high flyers and they're just you're getting a lot of head fakes and coming right back down, maybe you want to switch things up a little bit. This is something that I used to do for years when I was trading before we had all these crazy high flyers, and I would keep an eye on the sectors and I would see where the money was flowing and I would jump in that sector. And for example, I mean, there's probably not a lot of people out there, a lot of traders out there that know that Lursix was up almost 8% today at all-time highs and just opened up right from the get-go, drove, went sideways, and then drove more. So, um, I know a lot of these aren't sexy, but hey, you got to do where the money's going. And you can see here the SMHs were at the top of the food chain today. Uh, that's where the hedge funds were feasting on. Uh, Monday it might be oil sector, or it might be the steel sector again. But it's great to have like a layout like this that you can just kind of jump to every now and then, even if it's not your I can. I don't blame you if it's not your default layout, but it's something good just to you can go into your cloud, pull up your sector layout, and see where the money is flowing. And the thing about this is you have to build symbol list. All right, you have to put the stocks that are the top holdings in that sector. And you can see that I have done a lot of the legwork here, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it. Because I know a lot of people are going to be watching this video recording, and they're going to want me to send them all these symbol lists, and that takes a lot of work. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it is so you can do it as well. Now, if I have time, I will share some of my symbol lists with you today. But let's just build one. Right now, I have home builders, solars, steel sector, infrastructure. That was one that's pre-built in here that I just kept. So I imagine that's your basic materials. Uh, which has been strong lately. Semiconductors, and then I got China. A China sector. It's always good to have a China sector up, so when that China market gets hot, you can see what's kind of leading the way today. I know one of the traders was in this trying this one today. Nice little chart there. But it's just great to have. So let's see what we don't have. I don't have an energy sector in here. So we're going to just show you, and you might want to take some notes if you're not going to watch this video later. The best website is, I think, is this Market Watch. And all you have to do, all right, is come in here and you'll see the different sectors, all right. And first thing all you have to do is, what I did is I Googled XHB top holdings, and I found this Market Watch site, and it's great. So let me show you why. You can just type in a sector in here, XLE. All right, there's the energy sector, and just click on it. And then if you scroll down a little bit, okay, it's going to show you the top 10 holdings. Okay, if you want more, just click on View More. It's going to give you some more. Now, what I like to do, since you can't just grab, the symbols out of here, but what you can do, and I'm going to show you how easy it is just drag down to the bottom and copy, and just pull up a Word doc and paste. And then it puts it in this format so you can grab just the symbols. Okay, after you've done that, all you have to do is just make sure you only get the symbol column, and then you can copy. And now we're going to go over here to our symbol list, go to Tools, Symbol List, and we're going to create a new list. We're going to call it XLE for energy. And you can, if you don't remember what each, acronym means, you could always put XLE-energy, but I'm just going to leave it at XLE. Click OK, and now we go and find XLE, and we edit list. It's blank. Now I'm just going to paste these symbols in there. Okay, now I have a symbol that's quickly built of the energy sector. So now all I have to do is duplicate one of my windows here, and we're going to go to configure. We're going to change this to energy. Stupid caps backwards here. All right, and we're going to go to symbol list. See, we've already created that. Now all we have to do is go to add existing list, and we're going to find that XLE that I just made. There it is. Click on it. It's going to move it over here to the left side. Then all you have to do is take it off the one you were on and put it on XLE. Okay. And that fast, we just created a whole new window for the energy sector. Now I notice I do have my where is it at? Show strategy window, small borders. Want to take it off small borders. There we go. Looks a lot better. Let me do that real quick because I am going to share this with you. Just bear with me, guys. Taking it off small borders makes it easier to minimize if you want to keep some down into your taskbar. All right. So what I would probably do is just go ahead and build, maybe energy sector, throw energy sector in there. For some people who want to maybe do gold sector, I'm not crazy about gold. You can build whatever you want to build. You saw how easy it is to do. I think if you have 8 to 10 really, sectors in here, you're basically going to have everything covered. So now, I mean, you have everything sorted by change from the close. So in real time, you're finding out what's strong today. Look at Fang. What a beautiful move that was out of this trend right here. Just a, yeah. Try that again. Right out of that break. See, I would have loved to have seen something like that. And if I had this sector watch list up and I saw this in the early going, I've been able to buy that pullback right there. So there's just so many ways, you know, to figure out where the money is flowing in the yeah, Mike C, IW, you can do an IWM holding as well. Yes, yes, absolutely. That would be a great one. And you can just do the top holdings like that. Like I said, go to that market watch because it's really easy to copy and paste and then do what I just did to get the symbols into your list. But real quickly, I'm going to help you guys out. All right, because I do have some of these. Now, once again, guys, if you're watching a recording of this, please don't send me an email and making me do this for everybody. But maybe in the next week or so, I'll put together a Word doc that I could share with people. But let me go to symbol list, and I will share a few of these that I've already done. All right, we'll start with the steel sector. Okay, I'm going to copy these. Everything's going to go in the chat. Oh, let's see if they're going to. Okay, steel. Bingo. I was afraid they were going to go side by side each other. All right. Let's do the XHB, the home builders. Edit list. Copy. Home builders. See, you guys, it's going to pay off for you guys coming in here today. And all you got to do is copy and paste these into your symbol list, just like I showed you there. You're going to have to build your symbol list. I can't do that for you. SMHs, which are the semis. Once again, guys, they're in the chat panel. And solar. Now, you're going to see some of these. Don't worry about all these numbers. You don't have to erase them, okay? They're just not going to pull up. These are just crazy. They're oh wait, I got to get all those. They're crazy foreign stocks that do not have ADRs, so you're not going to. I want to get that last letter. There it goes. Just don't even worry about them. You can still copy and paste the whole thing in there. It would just ignore those. Okay, what are these? The solars. And the XLE. Which is energy. And you can do a few more. I mean, I'm not going to have time today, but you guys can do those on your own. Once again, let me go through the process. When you create a symbol list, guys, we have a video in that. If you don't know how, we can give you a short video. You just go to, once again, tools, symbol list, right? You want to create a new list. And then once again, just name your list, whatever you want to name it, and click OK. And then that's when you go to edit list, highlight, and then drop the symbols in there. But so I did a lot of the legwork for you guys so you can get those symbols out of our chat panel. Now what I'm going to do is let's go over a few of these sectors since we have a little bit of time. SMHs are really strong. The home builders are just, look at the way this XHB looks. Now watch when I go through these home builders. They look all identical. I mean, there's Toll Brothers. That one's not quite the highs, but your big boys are going to all look the same. Like especially your home build, your Lennar, your Pulte. It's crazy. DHI. Look at them. That's just algos. All these ETFs, algos, just basically looking. Everything's just looking almost identical. It's just wow. That's something you didn't see. You know, when I started trading, 24 years ago. But I think, like I said, with all the ETFs we have now, it's just amazing how identical some of these charts will look. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to share this with you. Oh, and this is a nice little sector watch list. You know what? I need to probably drop those into you as well. So let me do that. Symbol list, and let me get my sector ETFs. That's it right there. Edit list. Okay, this is going to be. Boy, I'm having trouble with that last letter. This is going to be the one called sector analysis. So I'll be sure to put sector analysis in there. You'll have to drop this symbol list in there for that one. All right. So you guys know what to do. When you get this, when I share this layout with you, these are all going to be come over blank, all right? Because obviously you have to put your symbols in your sector list for it to work. And then what you want to do is you want to point, go in here and make sure you go to add symbol list and then add existing list and then point whatever sector it is. Be sure you check it and that will, like I said, point it to that symbol list. Other than that, I just have a couple of charts and a static S&P chart in it. So let me go ahead and share this now. Make sure I got everything looking. I tell you what, let's do this. Let me take, good Lord, I'm gonna put China in the taskbar and I'm gonna pull up backup energy. That way you guys can see usually one of these sectors are probably going to be leading the China sector. But if you see K-Web, that's a China internet, you can want to pull up the China from the taskbar. Or if you see FXI, that's another China ETF, okay? The large caps. You're going to want to reach down there and pull that China and see what's hot. But great stuff. Just following the money is all you're doing in something like this. You're going to where the money is, okay? When you're struggling, okay, and having a hard time getting any follow through momentum, these crazy stocks aren't running anymore. Hey, look at Lursix. How could you have gone wrong here today? Even if you chased the first 15 minutes, it just went sideways and you still got another 20 points out of it. So, like I said, it's hard to go wrong when you're following these major sectors. All right, so let me share this file. Save or share to cloud, entire layout. Sector layout. And Jamie, let me know if anybody has any questions. I think I got it right there. Save and share. Copy all. Okay, here comes the layout now. You guys are having to do a lot of work today. You didn't know you was going to have to work so much. All right, there is the cloud link for the whole layout. Yeah, you should be able to do that on the web version as well. You do have access to it may be a little bit quirky. I don't have time to pull up the web version, but it's in there somewhere. It should be under tools.
Yeah, it is. I just pulled it up to verify. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jamie. All right, guys, let's I'm going to back out of this now. So if you have any questions about this, it's better get them in now. It's too late. I'm already going back to my default layout.
Andy,
And
what was the last cloud link that you dropped there again
that
in the
is the
chat?
sector. That's the sector analysis window. The one on
Okay.
the big one on the far right. Yeah,
All
you'll
right.
want to. Yeah, you'll want to put that symbol list. Oh, are you talking about the list or
That's
the cloud link?
the cloud link.
The cloud link is for the whole layout.
Okay. Just
That's
want
for
to
the
make
whole
sure.
sector layout.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at the price alerts, and it's been a tough market, but let's pull them up. Even though we're at all-time highs, I'm not going to kid you, it's been a tough market. Let me go columns and go created here. All right, let me look. Look at this. The big winner was a short from Stephen M. Okay, that would be FSTX. There was a short right there. He played that topping tail, and sure enough, he got a break below that low, and I think that was probably the trigger. Yeah, 13.17. So that was a beautiful trade there. And boy, look at that. Yeah, great job, Stephen. If you're in here, don't know if you are. There was a few good ones. Let me see. Stan G with FCX had a 6.5%, and that one still looks like it may be able to, to go some more if it can break above that 20 period there. Abhishek, UPST, that one looks like it may go some more too, up at almost 7% in that one, and that one is really looking good for further upside movement. Great job there, Abhishek. Very good. Few losers, but nothing bad, nothing real bad. Snap was a short. You know what? You were in the money briefly, but it snapped back on you, George. But other than that, yeah, it's some pretty good calls there. All right, guys, I tell you what I'm going to do. It's we got a holiday tomorrow. I'm going to put the game on pause just for a week, if you don't mind. Like to get out of here early for the not really that early, but I just if we did the game again, it would put us all the way probably past the top of the hour. So I'm going to bring Scott in if there's no more questions. Again, guys, you guys have a great Easter long weekend. Happy Easter to you too, Jeff. Um, and yeah, enjoy the day off tomorrow. I know as a trader, sometimes you just hate those days off, but trust me, it's good. It's good for the soul. All right, Scott, you want to come on in here and walk us out of here?
Sure thing. Thanks, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so go ahead and grab the earnings ebook. We're going to update it with a new one for next week. So grab it before we take this link down. Just keeps reminding you, trade-ideas.com/earnings. It's got some great plays to use during earnings season, and it also has some cloud links that you can import into your layout. There's a podcast. The podcast can be found by searching for Trade Ideas Podcast, wherever you find your fine pods that you enjoy. Just add us as a subscription, then you'll be able to get the next episode as soon as it's released. And in the meantime, just go ahead and check out the previous eps. There's a code, opportunity. It's good for 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas. Go ahead and use that and save. You can also use that in an upgrade. And you can find us on Twitter at Trade Ideas. There's also at QuantBot is Jamie, and Steve is TISTG. Facebook.com/Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook page to find and like. And info@tradeIdeas.com is a place to send all your questions. Goes into our Help Center software and gets you the support you need. All right, thanks everyone. Thanks Andy and Jamie. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Scott.
Have a great weekend too.
Yeah. Have a great weekend. See y'all next week.
Happy Easter to everyone. You too.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.